Frazer,
Yes, Ben.
somebody once said to me, adapt and overcome. So when this month's podcast guests went on holiday, quite rightly so, we've adapted and we've overcome. Because now we're going to do a half-year-ish review of all things business.
All things review.
So let's kick us off, mate. What's been your highlight of 2022 so far?
Highlight for me, I believe, is the London edition. Just coming up to a year now since we launched it.
Yeah.
The response from it has been really well received, and the feedback that we get from it is a little bit humbling. Obviously, we're spoilt in Northamptonshire and Milton Keynes because it's on our doorstep. We know it. We know the businesses. We know the people. And to hear multinational, multi-million-pound turnover businesses speaking so highly of it, sort of, is great.
Yeah, I'd echo that. I think one of the things I find surprising is that London is just, you get that feeling, don't you, when we get off at the train station? It's just that city of opportunity, and everything tends to be just different down there in terms of the outlook and conversations that you have with people.
Yeah.
But yet all things business is still quite unique in terms of as a publication.
Yeah.
I'd get that, and I must admit, I think it's led to other opportunities for us as a business as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it is. It's like when I'm down in London, there's so much to look at. Does that make sense? How we drive around here and we see a new business opening, or somebody's relocated, or somebody's upsized. I wouldn't say we take it for granted, because we see it happening in front of us. But in London, you take a turn, you go down a new street. It's that excitement of what's happening.
Well, so we'll no doubt we'll talk about the business awards shortly. But did you know that Fortis have moved in just a few doors down from us in
Correct.
Bedford Square?
Yeah.
And did you know that he's a comedian? Out.
Which comedian?
Out.
Mickey Flanagan.
Yeah. His agent is 4 doors away from us.
Really?
Yeah, Bedford Square.
I
forgot to tell you that the other day. I'm not saying Mickey Flanagan's going to be associated with the Business Awards next year at all, but started to do the research, etc., and found his agent is just, the private school just over the road, 3 doors down from that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see him lounging down the road when he's not doing anything.
50s!
So that's mine. What's yours?
Do you know what? When we went to Thornton College,
Yep.
it's a wonderful,
It's the first time you've been.
It's the first time I've been there, and I was blown away by the story, and in terms of the history. And I'm going to forget the lady's name that started it, but the headmistress that's just left, she spoke so well, and you could tell she was clearly a little bit emotional about leaving.
Yeah.
But what they've done there as a school, I think, is amazing. How they handled the pandemic in terms of sending the children, the international students, back and listening to that. But then the history of how Thornton College started, I thought was really interesting. And when you look at the great job that you've done there in developing that relationship with Jenny and the rest of her team there, then you actually, this is what I love about our job. There's a why and there's a story behind every business. And hearing Thornton Colleges from them directly was really good.
Yeah. No.
And then, but other than that, that's one highlight. But when you look back at what we've achieved and what's happened over this last 7-8 months, so sometimes you just have to sort of scratch and pinch yourself and think, wow, really, have we done all of that? But yeah, that's definitely up there for me.
I think when you look and it is August, and you look back and you think how
just for people listening to this, Frazer has an issue with T's, so if he wants to wind me up, he'll say I'm off to Kettering. But when he says all things sometimes and think, he can sometimes grinds on me. Sorry, anyway, go on, carry on.
When you look back and you think, 8 months ago we moved into our new home. We moved into Rush Mills 8 months ago, and clear as day. I can remember being here just before Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year with you, and where's this going to go? Where's that going to go? And fast forward, there's not an empty desk in the offices.
We were playing football in here.
We were. We were.
Or trying to.
Yeah, trying to. Albie was going up and down on the electric desks. We were.
That's how it broke.
Yeah, that's how it broke. Up and down on chairs and bits and pieces, and you look around and you think that was then. The beginning of the year didn't start possibly as positively as people wanted it to. The scariness of what the media were trying to whip up again in January, so we didn't know how that was going to happen. But you look back and you think, wow, everything that's happened in Milton Keynes, everything that's happened in Bedfordshire and Northamptonshire, and obviously alongside London, but also us as a team.
Yeah, the team have been great, and I think if you look at, I think the team have been great overall, but I think there's certainly some superstars that have really stood up and grabbed the opportunity as well and gone above and beyond. Arthur's one of them.
Love you, Arthur.
We do. But I think what's going to be really important now in terms of sustaining our growth is making sure that the next 2 or 3 superstars that come in are, can add that strength and depth. To quote the football analogy, we need to go and make sure we get another Nunez, and
so we can start off really badly.
Not an El Hadj Diouf.
Yeah.
Nunez, why? He's great signing.
He is now. Yeah, it's like I say about the media. He has one bad game against another team that plays in red, and
just on that, All or Nothing, Amazon Prime.
No, I'm going to.
Brilliant. When you talk about the analogy and the synergy between football and business, or professional sport and business, Mikel Arteta, I tell you, anybody listening to this that even got a bit of an interest in football in terms of the synergy between professional sport, elite level sport and business, watch that. I think it's brilliant.
Chelsea one, didn't we? Was that when it was in the mix of lockdown? We watched that and watched the...
No. I think Jose Mourinho did it for Spurs, All or Nothing. It's the same production.
Yeah.
But another highlight for me would probably be interviewing Sir Clive, Woodward and Steve Thompson at Hay Festival. Yeah. I must admit, I hadn't heard of Hay before, which Judith couldn't believe. And then when she realised I was there, she couldn't believe that I hadn't invited her. So apologies, Judith. But that's probably a career highlight for me when I look back on that. Yeah. And it's one of those sort of pinchy moments to think, actually, what have we just done in this last hour? So I love that. And obviously his documentary's coming out in September. And we've got the launch of the foundation and various other things that are going to be associated to that. So that's going to play a significant part in our next part.
It's been a huge year for Steve, but also a huge year for you, because the involvement that you've had in that and the difference that Steve's trying to make in raising the awareness and to have change, it echoes what you've sort of done as a business here with All Things Business. That there was a space for something different, which I believe we are. And it's credit to you and credit to Steve for doing that.
It's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
It'll probably be the last as well. Somebody said to me the other day, your job looks awesome.
Well, it'll be your wife.
Yeah, possibly. And they said, you get to go and see and do loads of stuff that people don't necessarily know about straight away. What's your favourite thing of coming to work?
Well, look, I've always said driving home on a Friday and realising what we've done as a team in that week makes me feel incredibly proud. And I've said that from when we was at the Innovation Centre, when there was six of us, but within 4 desks.
Yeah, I didn't have a desk.
You didn't have a desk. No. Dan Cole used to come in and
sit on the floor,
and then I'd worry about his bad back, bless him. But next week we've got a plan. We know what work we're doing. By 10:30 Monday morning, there's going to be a few other things that have happened, and if you were to write down the bullet points for next week of the tasks that we're going to do next week, I guarantee you could probably add another 50% to that, and that's what we'll do. And that's all about the reactiveness. Look at what we've done this week.
Adapting and
overcome. So if you look at, I think it was Tuesday, we had that creative meeting, and already we've introduced Carpool Chat.
Carpool Chat is back.
Chat is back.
Yes.
Did that this morning, had good fun with that, and we've lined up another couple of guests for that, which is good. You know, who thought that we would bring that back after 2 years? Because nobody is it safe to get in a car with someone again? And you know, so why I chose Grant McKenna, I don't know, but
it definitely wasn't safe.
What a great guy he is. You know, he's a bubbly character, and he's the
bubbly.
BFG. Yeah, he's bubbly because he's a great guy, and he's a dad. He does everything for his family, just like I, and everybody else. Family comes first. So I think for me, it's the excitement of what's this week got in store. Like I looked at my diary this week, and I was really looking forward to yesterday, because we've got we had one particular new client coming in, and he's an Everton fan, and he knows I'm a big Liverpool fan, but it's almost like that sort of, we've had this unwritten rule that we don't really sort of go there in terms of too much. And I knew we were going to have a really good meeting, which it was. And I ended the meeting and said, do you know what, I think I should take in Liverpool Everton. And Ellie looked at me and went, nah. I went, why? She went, because if you win, he's going to get the ump, and if he wins, you're going to get the ump, and it will end the business relationship.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other things that have happened this week. Monday morning, this wasn't on our agenda.
No.
Carpool Chat wasn't even thought about.
No.
And I love that. What's your favourite thing about coming to work?
It's the variety. The variety of, similar to what you just said, that you know what's in your diary, you know what's going to happen, but it's so different what's going to happen.
No one day's the same.
No one day's the same. No, you could be in an office in front of a board of directors on a multinational business, pitching to them about all things business, or you could be driving around a car in Northampton, or trying to track it on a drone, and
trying to find the drone.
Trying to find the drone that was hovering over the A45, but made it back safe and sound. And it's that you can get stuck in a rat race of going to work and doing the same thing over and over again. And probably another one of your mantras is the definition of madness. You do the same thing, you'll get the same results. And by using Carpool Chat as an example, it's not coming back as the same. It's coming back differently. Our levels, our standards have increased. The sustainability part, before everyone thinks that we're driving around excessively like an episode of Top Gear, all of the vehicles will be electric, right?
Are they all going to be?
There's some maybe hybrid, but it's making.
I don't know if Barry Goff's listening to this, mate. You rev some of your motors up, because we'll be driving around Bugbrook. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would prefer to be in a high performance.
Well, you say that. I touched the panel today. Oh my gosh, I could not believe the pickup speed of a Tesla.
I had the drone on sport, hovering over the A45, and 60 miles an hour. It couldn't keep up with you.
No. I didn't go above 60.
You didn't go above 60?
No. It's literally the increase from 20 to 40 is the speed I was
referring
to.
Then.
What's been your biggest challenge this year so far as an individual? Forget business. Well, it might be business, but just as Frazer Arnott, what's been the biggest challenge this year?
I think the biggest challenge in sort of personal and business is trying to deal with people in normality. Does that make sense? So the crossovers of that, of trying to arrange appointments at home with, I've got some building work starting, and trying to get people to physically come into your house and not look outside of your house.
Why? Because of
the world that we live in, of standing too close.
Do you want the job or not?
Correct. Yeah, that was where we went. And then in business, you have that these people are considering their marketing approach. Oh, we don't need to market. We're too busy. Or you can come in, but you can do it on Zoom or Teams. Very, very rarely have an online meeting anymore, because it reminds me of a dark place, and I don't want to be in that dark place anymore.
So what is the challenge of that was to overcome going from
online back to face, and people are they're there now. 95% of people are back to it. And look, whatever people are comfortable with, it will be there. But it's that, to me, we are at our best when we are with people. Together. We're Batman and Robin. What did we say? Suarez and Sturridge last week, wasn't it?
No, it was probably a couple of years ago, that.
Yeah. So. No, I think we said it last week, but we used, I think it might have been Shearer and Sutton we said as well. SAS, the original.
No, I think this year's this work from home hybrid is a real delicate topic for lots of different reasons. And you need happy customers, but you need happy staff. And without either of those, you haven't got a business.
Yep.
And therefore, it's a 50-50, it's a balance. And it's going to be difficult because nobody had really worked from home up until the pandemic. Yep. Now most people did, effectively, efficiently, TBC. Going forward, I think it's going to be challenging. And we as a business, we're facing some of those challenges now.
Yeah, we are. My Mac doesn't float, so every time I go in the paddling pool, it sinks. So that's why I come to the office. But it is a challenge, and if there's a benefit to a business,
I've just got visions of you in a paddling pool.
Yeah, I was going to say swimming pool, but swimming pool sounds bougie, so I didn't really
it's not swimming pool at all. No. But it is. It's what's your Instagram handle? All Things Business Frazer.
No, All Things Frazer UK.
All Things Frazer UK. Frazer with a Z.
Correct.
It's work. You've clearly got the paddling pool on there, haven't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you should do. You should put it out.
Yeah.
Put it out there because it's a stunning paddling pool, 6,000 litres.
It's close. Yeah, it will flood the back of my house when I empty it for the winter. But yeah, my Mac doesn't float. I haven't found a floatable device that will allow me to do that. I don't enjoy working from home. I love my family, but I don't want to see them 24 hours a day. You need to have that balance of coming away, and also, like I said, we work our best when we're
together.
When we're together and we're with people. That's what I enjoy. So you mentioned business awards: biggest, best, most lavish, best looking, most talked about.
What does lavish mean?
I don't know. We'll ask Judith in a moment. Entries close 19th of August.
Yeah, entries close next week. I think there's. We had our meeting on Monday, and I'm not sure if we're going to surpass I don't think this will be the most amount of entries in total, but it won't be far off. I think it'll be our second highest year. But there are a couple of categories where we've definitely had the most amount of entries. Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there were 3 categories that we've excelled. In terms of
businesswoman of the year.
Yeah, businesswoman we've had. Businesswoman we've had is one of the most popular categories. Business of the year and apprentice of the year. Those are the 3. Apprentice of the year and businesswoman of the year are always very competitive anyway. So so we've obviously they close. Then it's down to the independent judging scoring process, and then obviously Nick Hewer and the other judges will get together at, I think, Della Prabi, end of September. Yeah. So yeah, look, we met with our colleagues at Fabtronic to try and come up with something different.
That's exciting, that is.
Yeah, it is
really exciting.
I think Kerry and Chris and Murray, the team there, they've really embraced what we're trying to do, and they've. I don't know if you remember, but when I said to Chris, I went, so when you've done this before, like how many times have you done this like before? He went, we haven't. I was like, okay. So I've got a meeting with Jonathan next week I would imagine he'll probably want to get health and safety involved just to make sure that what we want to do is achievable. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Do you think it'll be okay, you being suspended in on that?
No, I will not be suspended in anyway.
Is that not happening?
No, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
And then, of course, we've got the next night's Eamon Holmes.
Education Awards.
Yeah, so, and that's all things education. And if there's one good thing that's come out of this pandemic, it's that people like you can appreciate teachers and the education sector. Because let's face it, who could handle homeschooling?
No, I jest about it.
They were, yeah, I know, but they were underrated. Undervalued and underrated anyway. And when you think the average school, only 50% of the staff are teachers. The other 50% are non-teaching staff in terms of academic teaching, Senkos, Well, Senkos are obviously teachers, but in terms of teaching support staff and administrative staff, etc., and they all play a massive part. And at the end of the day, the kids of today, the managing directors of tomorrow, and you look at how difficult our job is now, winning net new business and retaining business.
Yeah,
some of those decision makers are getting younger and younger. So somebody in year 11 today, in 10 years' time, will probably be in charge of a marketing budget of maybe 2, 3, 4 million quid. You know, that's how life is.
I do. I think when I've only been to one in-person education awards, because obviously the previous year, which I'm still world renowned for reading the winner out
that was brilliant
in the judges' comments. To see the joy on the teachers' faces last year when we done that.
Apart from the gentleman who won Lifetime of Achievement because he said the music was too
loud. Yeah.
And I felt like I was in the school assembly because he got on stage and told us off.
I was stood next to him because we sponsored Lifetime Achievement.
Yeah.
It was the longest pause of my life. But it was, I mean, they were on the Zambucas at, I think, 7:15, and they had
not all teachers.
Not all teachers, but majority of them. They had a whale of a time because they celebrated the success of what they had, and that's what they should do.
And it's been highlighted by a wider community, and that's where I think that's for me. That's our CSR bit. That's where we're giving back because business does need education, and education also needs business.
Yeah, absolutely. So what? The last 4 months of the year, what have we got coming up? Obviously, we've got a big event down in London.
What have we got coming up? Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, I need to get the work-life balance right because that's very important.
I've nailed it. It's fine.
You've nailed it, yeah?
Yeah, I've nailed it.
Okay, will you tell Vicky then? So then we copy and paste it so I can nail it.
I will do. Have you booked your Panto tickets?
You've had them all.
I haven't. I've told you.
All right, we'll sort that. Look, September's, we've got a really exclusive event that's happening at Hibiscus at Delaper Abbey, which I'm looking forward to. We've got an event for one of our clients down in London with Steve, which is a wicked venue called Ice Tank, which is going to be pretty special. We've got the Northamptonshire Logistics Awards.
Yeah.
We've got the judging for the independent judging for both the Northamptonshire Business Excellence Awards and the Northamptonshire Education Awards. That takes us into October. Then we've got the preview to Qatar, where we've got Michael Owen, Ali McCoist and Kelly Smith at Portman Square Nobu, or Nobu at Portman Square, shall I say. That is an impressive venue. I'm reluctant to put images of the venue online because I want to see the wow factor when people walk into that room. Because they spent £1 million on that room, done 2 events and then went into lockdown. So I think our event will only be like the 25th event that they've done in that room. So that's going to be great. Friday lunchtime, bring your clients, bring your staff, just, network with other businesses, listen to 3 legends in their own right, and let's talk about the World Cup because hopefully the country's going to have just as much success as what we did with the Lionesses early this month, or end of last month, sorry. Then I think that goes straight into November, which is obviously award season. And then it's just about celebrating and recognising the very best of the business community and the education sector across our wonderful county that is Northamptonshire.
Yeah, it's exciting. That pretty much. Have we missed anything?
I don't think so, mate.
I don't think we have.
Maybe we might get a Christmas party in December. I don't know. We'll have to see. Are you
going to come to that one?
Yes, Frazer.
Yeah,
I will.
This is my shoulders hurt.
Your shoulders? What from? What? Picking me up?
Carrying you.
Carrying me? I don't think you can carry me.
I don't think I could either.
Do you want a running race?
No, I don't want to run a race. I've lost once. I'm never doing it again.
Yeah, good.
Just John Thorpe with a rematch.
John Thorpe. Oh, Michael nearly put the video up last week.
We should do something on that. Which for charity, we should arrange.
You won't get Thorpe racing me again.
I think people will challenge you. You've already had a challenge internally.
Yes,
we have to get the terminology right here.
It's very straightforward. I believe I am the fastest, fattest man in the world over 30 metres.
Yeah.
Fattest is 19 stone plus. So if anybody wants to race me
for determination
for 30 metres, and we put, I don't know, £500 in the pot, and the money goes to We Mine and Kelly Matters.
Yeah.
More than happy to do that.
Yeah.
But you've got to be 19 stone plus.
Yeah. You're not taking on lighter challenges?
No.
No?
Because I would lose, Fraser.
Yeah, but you are. I've only seen you get beaten once.
Who's that by?
Yeah, apparently it doesn't count because it wasn't in this country.
Who?
A certain Daniel Armstrong.
He wasn't his race. I was racing Daniel Douglas from Total Computers.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
not Daniel Armstrong from DA
Plumbing and Heating.
Plumbing and Heating. You ring me, I'll ring you back in 3 months. I've really enjoyed this, Fraser.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah, a bit different. So might do it again.
Maybe we spend enough time with each other. I'm sure we can factor this in. I'll check my diary. You speak to your people. I'll speak to mine. And yeah, hopefully everybody else has enjoyed it, and it gives you an insight into mine and his relationship.
Mine and his relationship. Fraser, thank you, mate.
Thank you, Ben.